Happy Friday. It is Friday, the 31st of March, 2017, as I'm recording this, and this is the last day of Q1. Celebration time and time for reflection. So when I have a Facebook Live and talk with you, get a chance to catch up, I'm just here, casual Friday. You know, I'm in the casual mode right now for all the employees here at my office. And that would be me, one of us. So it's a casual Friday and get a chance to sit with you and talk. I thought I'd just kind of relax and catch up on how you're doing as we look at what's going on in the world today. Now is a really important time. We've had one quarter of 2017 so far. This is a really good time, and by golly, we got a weekend coming up. So take some time to just step back and go, okay, what happened? How was the week? Or the week and the quarter, before in all 3 months, what was good? What was not quite so good? What was good for you? Hi, Mary. Good to see you on board. And how was it? And now's a good time, like tomorrow, I'm planning to take some time and specifically do some revamping analysis. We've got the Q2 coming up, second quarter, starting with April 1st. And even though they say April Fool's Day, you can't believe it, well, I'm going to take that as a wonderful time to get out and let people know that they can start all over again, that the world is still going on. And if we look back over Q1, what were the major events that happened to you? I know a lot of people will be going, oh my, we had a new president in. Now, whether you like or dislike the current president in the United States, I think too many people are getting caught up in the politics and the arguing. Have you noticed that? It's tended to be a real big thing on social media, that people are really getting tired of all the vitriol, all the arguing back and forth. And I'd have to agree, because really, how many people have been changed because they thought, oh my goodness, they said something on Facebook against the person that I really liked, and it made me not like that person. This usually doesn't happen. Or you said something bad about the person that I did like, and I'm going to change, or whatever. No. Best to focus on what you can do, and that's the key. Think about whatever situation you're in. What can you do with what you've got right there? That was the theme, as a matter of fact, a quote from Theodore Roosevelt. He didn't like to be called Teddy, but Theodore Roosevelt, I'll call him Teddy anyway. Teddy Roosevelt, the 26th president of the United States, when he said, do what you can with what you got right where you are. I thought, that makes a lot of sense. Too often we sit back and go, well, by golly, if they just put this person in office, or if they would enact this law, or they do that. Okay, some of that might be good, and of course we all have feelings that there might be a particular bill that we want passed, or a law that's in force that we want repealed and we want to change it. That's normal. But you can't do a lot about it. You can create enemies by arguing about it a lot. You can create people to not like you, and then some people, hey, for those of you entrepreneurs, I'm talking to you now, somebody hears that you're against candidate A and they're for candidate A, and now they're thinking, well, if you're against candidate A, my candidate, then I'm not going to work with you, or I'm not going to do this. And now that has cost you money. And so I think you got to look at it and think about, what do major corporations do? Once in a while, they'll come out in a political position, but usually it's not a good idea to do that. Good idea because you immediately alienate, 50% or whatever percent of the population. So I think as we're finishing up Q1, look at what you have done. What was good for you? What could be improved? What could be better in Q2? Because we roll it ahead 90 days from right now, hey, half of the year is over. And so we really need to get on the stick here, get things moving, as we'd say out in the country where I grew up, get on the stick here on that and get things moving in the right direction. And so I'm using this weekend to do that, and I encourage you to do it as well. By the way, another thing that happened yesterday, I want to send our sympathies, our condolences, and our wish and lots of love to the folks up in Atlanta. Fortunately, no one was killed that we've heard about, no major injuries, and that's good for the collapse of a big chunk of the expressway there. Having lived in Atlanta, went to Georgia State, lived in Atlanta for many years, loved the place, got many, many good friends there, and I was saying hello to all the wonderful people in Atlanta. Hope you're doing well. I feel particularly for those people, as you think about it, they're going to be coming down 75 from up north, and they're heading for spring break down to Florida or somewhere else, and they're planning to drive through Atlanta. Yeah, rot's a ruck. It's going to be tough, and it's going to be really crowded, and you might not know the back ways, and even those back ways like I-4, or not I-41, but US 41, Cobb Parkway there in over in Buford Highway over on the other side of town. Those are going to be clogged full of folks. And so it might be best to think about operating from home if you can. I think actually a smart business in Atlanta would immediately swing into action and try, if they haven't already, to say, okay, everybody, we're going to operate from home. And we're still going to have our meetings. Get people together through tools like Zoom, one of my favorites, Skype, Google, and use what was Hangouts, now moving over into YouTube, and there's a bunch of others. Blue Jeans is another one that I'm using often. So find the tools that you can use that'll give you the ability to connect with your folks. Something like what's happened in Atlanta could happen many places. I mean, a major problem come with, I think in this case it was caused, from all evidence that we've seen thus far, it looks like there was a fire, a terrible fire for whatever reason that came out, and it knocked down some of the the buttresses that were holding up the structure there for the road, and it created a massive, massive traffic jam. And that's not just an annoyance. That can be real serious. If you got to get somewhere, and it might be taking someone to a hospital, or it might be you got an extraordinarily important meeting, that's costing time, money, and injury, and often human suffering. Make plans and provisions to get together with people. First of all, at times that most people wouldn't want to. Don't try driving through rush hour traffic when you're in a hurry. Just not going to work. And getting upset with people that are not moving along, or the people, here's one that gets me, they've got an accident over here on this lane, and the people in this one all got to slow down and go, oh, hey, look at that, there's an accident, slow down, let's watch a little bit more of it. What are you doing? You can't fix the accident. Just keep moving along safely, but don't worry about that. The police, the professionals will be there, and they're going to take care of the job. You focus on keeping traffic moving, but no, they don't do that. And this is worldwide. I've seen it in many states around the U.S., and I've seen it also in other countries around the world. So what you want to do is, again, take control of what you can control beforehand. Do what you can with what you've got right where you are. Theodore Roosevelt, Teddy Roosevelt, saying that, I think is really appropriate. And so right now, think about this yourself, wherever you are. If you've got a team of people and you're working together and then you depend on them coming to you, find ways that you can work remotely. I suggest using tools like Zoom. The quality of video is outstanding. Your quality of audio also is exceptionally good. And I use it regularly with our team, with connecting with people around the world. I just had a couple of requests, matter of fact, today come in. People that said they want to meet with me. We're going to be meeting next week sometime. And I said, here, let's use Zoom. And some of them had not used Zoom, or they had heard of it. And so I send them the link with the instructions on how they can get through and start using it. We're preparing in advance. It's like the old Arab saying, dig your well before you're thirsty. Dig your well before you're thirsty. It looks like George Campbell will join us. Hey there, George. Hope you're doing well today. And send you greetings out there at Oklahoma or wherever you might be today. And so dig that well before you're thirsty. So many people will say, oh, gee, we got this problem, this emergency came up, and then they can't do something. And I think that we've got to look at life in a different way. I've seen the saying, what was it, several years ago, I saw a poster up that said, lack of planning on your part does not constitute an emergency on my part. Too many times people try to elevate what they're doing up to another level because others haven't planned. Hey, Alan, good to see you. Glad to have you with us today. And greetings to you over there as you're beginning your weekend a little bit early over there in the UK. But yeah, think about this and start thinking in terms of what is likely to happen, what could happen, and you want to take that and prepare accordingly. So use the situation, the bad events that have happened in Atlanta and the massive traffic snarls that are there right now, and anticipated even more next week. Because I was talking to my buddy Ken up there. He was telling me that today they canceled school, so it's going to be a little bit easier. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week, they can't keep school out all the time. I know some of the kids would like that, but they have to have them, so traffic is going to be even worse. Make plans now. One of the things we can do with technology is you plan to meet with people and do it regardless of where the geography is, even in the same town. When I'm meeting with people here in Orlando, often I'll meet with them rather than going down this parking lot we have called I-4, where you get all these people coming down from Ohio going, wow, look at this, slowing it down. And we love you people from Ohio coming down. Yes, please keep coming. But we have little bumper stickers in Orlando that say, some of us are not on vacation. You know, so they get on I-4, they clog up the traffic. So what I do often, and you might consider this also wherever you are, think about how you can get more proficient with and have others working with you using tools like Skype, Zoom, etc. Many of you know that I was the former chief enterprise blogger with Skype. Got a chance to work with them. What a wonderful group of people to work with. I really enjoyed it. Brilliant people, as you can imagine, and really kind too. And we talked a lot about the benefits of remote office working. Establish your own office. Establish your own way of doing what needs to be done. Get the work done. Be productive. I think you also want to schedule regular meetings, video meetings together. Now, that doesn't mean you never get together. It means that when you do, you're very careful about when you do it, and you do it at times like, maybe 11 o'clock in the morning. Hopefully you're past a lot of the traffic then. And you get together, you say, okay, next Wednesday we're all going to get together. Doing that once a month would not be unusual, would not be out of line. If your staff, of course, is scattered globally, then it's a little different situation. But still, good idea to have those regular meetings. Seeing people, hey, how you doing? What's going on? And fortunately today, with the technology that we have, it's pretty close to actually being there. I mean, when you think about it, suppose you're going to have a regular business meeting and you're going to meet at a coffee shop somewhere. You get together, you're seated across the table from them, you talk, you might share some documents back and forth. We can do that now with technology. Yeah, you're not there, you can't shake their hand, at least not yet. Wait just a little bit. Some really smart people are working on that one, with artificial intelligence and with virtual reality. Oh my goodness, I saw some of that out at CES. It was amazing. But think about the virtual meetings that you can have and what can be done there. That is something I'd encourage you to look into, see what is available and how you can do it. Lillian, hi, nice to see you. Glad to have you with us today. Hope life is going well for you down there in Mexico, that you're having a great day, and we send lots of love and greetings to all of you that are down there. But look forward to hearing what your thoughts are. Leave a note, matter of fact. Let me know how you are using virtual meetings. Virtual meetings, getting together, working with that. I think this is something that is really, really handy. And it can save you time, save you money, save you energy, and even more, it increases collaboration. It increases your productivity. So you don't have to spend all that time getting ready to go to the meeting. You got to make sure the car is working, then you got to go through it, you go through the traffic jams and all of that. You finally get where you are, you got to find a parking place. You go in, you see the person, you order for the menu. It might be a good meal, might not, whatever. You see them, and then you got to head back home. You've just lost a chunk of maybe 3 to 4 hours in your day. Versus, you get a chance to see the person. Often I'll have lunch with someone, and I'll be able to have lunch or dinner or whatever it is, and they're eating, I'm eating, we're both doing as if we were in a restaurant together. Hey, what are you eating today? Oh, okay, that's good. Here, I'm drinking this, and cheers, I hope you're doing well. And then have your meeting, get the work done. Have solid, business-oriented, bottom-line benefiting collaboration. Put that together, and then once you've done that, and you say, okay, we got everything covered, great to see you, and we'll get together next Saturday when we all see each other and we're in this place or that place, etc. This is a really good thing to do. So you want to make sure we do that and meet at least once a week in your Octalog. I know a lot of Octalogs have been going down there, and getting together once a week makes a lot of sense. That Octalog is really good. I'm looking forward to getting involved in some of those. And also, hey, Jamina, good to see you, and greetings from Cambridge. Are you up there? Is that Cambridge, Massachusetts, or is that Cambridge, England, or yet another Cambridge somewhere? No, but really nice to see you. Hope you're doing well these days. But the video is something that's real incredible. I've seen a lot of good with it. Matter of fact, let me share something with you kind of inside. I share this with my coaching program members, and I'll share it with you today as well. What we're seeing right now, I see you're up there in MA. Okay, so in Massachusetts. We'll tell everybody up there in Cambridge and the Boston area, we said, hey. But I'm finding when I was out at CES, one of the things I kept hearing in my non-scientific random sampling, as a journalist, I'm going around to many different places where I'm interviewing people. They're showing me their new tools. I'm having meetings in suites, the private, got to know the secret password to get in kind of thing. And also in the midst of all the commotion and the hubbub that's going on there, it's a lot of fun. I'm having a blast there. But I kept hearing people over and over telling me how they're using Facebook Live. Facebook Live, very important. The live presentation, really important. We're finding that people like that. I think there's two key elements on this. As a matter of fact, those of you that are professional speakers that are joining me either live right now or later, I'd be interested in your feedback on this. I see two distinct advantages of live delivery of video, whether it's Facebook Live or some other tool, whatever you're using. Number one, there's the excitement of it's happening right now. I mean, as I'm recording this right now, it is 13:55 here in Orlando. So like 5 minutes until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And so you realize, wow, it is really live. This is it. Or if I'm reporting on something that's going on, there's that excitement, much like a sporting match. We don't like to watch sporting matches as much recorded. I mean, hardly at all. But we would love to watch them live. That's important. And then I think a second area that's really important, particularly for thought leaders, for people who are writers, professional speakers, coaches, facilitators, and other people who take their brain power, the ideas they have, and they disseminate these to others and share them with others. I think that this is really important because they get a chance to see you. I mean, you're seeing me live right now. This is not a script. I've got a little note. Matter of fact, let me show you how I do this. Again, I show my coaching program members this, and I'm going to show you right now. See, this is what I've got. Got a little notepad here. Nothing real big, but just a few notes of, oh, I want to cover this and this and this, and be sure to use that. Sometimes I do. I'm not doing it today. Sometimes I'll tape that right over there. I'll take the Scotch tape and just kind of pop it on there real quickly, and then I can have it, and it reminds me of what I need to cover. I'm not scripting it because I don't know about you, but when I have something that's scripted and I'm trying to read it, inevitably it looks like I am reading it from the teleprompter, and you can tell that my eyes are going back and forth as I read this. And try as I might, you know, I find that sure enough, sure as a whirl, I'm going to fall into that problem of making it sound like I'm reading it. I find, however, bullet points are much better. Because with a bullet point, it tells me, oh, Terry, tell them the story of the green zebra and the purple raccoon. You know, okay, well, whatever that might be. Put it in there, and I could talk about that and be able to say the story. Because if I asked you a question, I said, tell me about that thing that happened to you. You've said it over and over. You know, when you went to the such and such place and you got in the Ferris wheel, that story, you know, you'd go, oh, well, of course. And you'd go right into it. All you need is something that gently reminds you and prompts you for that. So this would be really good as you're working with Facebook Live, putting it together and doing this kind of medium. Use it and make sure that you can get this out to the world. Now, by the way, another real advantage of it is once we've recorded it here on Facebook Live, you can download it, thanks to the way they put it up there in Facebook, as an MP4. What that means then, of course, you've got a video that you can put on YouTube, on Vimeo, you can put it on Twitter that way, you can put it on LinkedIn, etc., etc. Really nice features, and I would encourage you to look into that. Now, those of you that are in our coaching program, we just this week talked about how you can use tools like Blue Jeans and how you can use now Zoom to add even more capability to Facebook Live. It's amazing what you can do with sharing your screen, talking to other people, bringing other people on there, showing your slides with Keynote or PowerPoint. Tools like that are really, really important. So those are some things that are happening now as we kind of wind down Q1 and we look toward Q2 coming up tomorrow. I would encourage you to take some time to step back and pause. Think about, okay, how's it going? What's been happening? What's going on, and how have you been? And now what are you going to do for Q2? You know the importance of, if you've been following me at all, you know that I really believe strongly in the New Year's resolutions and end of year reflection on what's going on and planning ahead. And this is a way that you can do it because, hey, 1/4 of the year is over. We've got 1/4 over. Now we're moving forward into Q2. How are you doing on those goals? What's happening? One other topic I want to talk with you about before we leave is I want to talk about something that I'm seeing happening a lot. Another trend that I'm hearing strong. I've talked about Facebook Live and live video stronger than ever, but also payment mechanisms and digital ways of storing what happens on the internet. The tool is called the blockchain, and the blockchain gives you the ability to have not only digital currencies, Bitcoin being one of the most famous on that, Bitcoin and other digital currencies, but also contracts, legal agreements, requisites of what you're going to do, leases, anything that requires an agreement between people can be put onto the blockchain. And with it on the blockchain, it's immutable. It cannot be changed after the fact. And you don't have to worry about the trust factor. Can I trust this person? Can I trust that one? When it's put on the blockchain, it's monitored by literally thousands and thousands, even millions of people on the internet. They'll see not necessarily who it was. Here's a long number, here's a long number, and they agreed to do such and such. Now you could find that out. You could go into it and you could determine who it was with a little bit of digging and checking out. But you can use this for a lot of different applications. The blockchain and Bitcoin are really, really hot. I would encourage you to look into that. By the way, are you using that? Give me a little thumbs up here if you're using blockchain, if you're doing some activities with it, or if you've been using tools like Bitcoin or some of the other digital currencies out there like Monero and Dash. And by the way, Ripple. RIPPLE is a currency that now just today jumped up, what was it, something like 200 or 300%, and it's now the number 3 digital coin. So that's pretty amazing. And they're changing all the time. It's an extremely volatile area. Bitcoin itself dropped below 1,000, now is back up above the 1,000, probably heading up toward its goal or its previous high of around 1,300 or so, something like that. And by the way, Jeff just joined us. Jeff, hello there. Hope you're doing well today. Hope life is good for you, whether you're in Chicago or Florida, wherever. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. So think about that. Of using Bitcoin, using blockchain, using some of the other currencies out there. I'm particularly interested when I see what's happening with Dash. Dash is good. I got a chance to hear one of the proponents and spokespeople for that, Amanda B. Johnson, just recently. And Amanda is out as an advocate for and evangelist for Dash, doing very, very well. Also, Kurt Robinson doing a lot with that. Kurt, if you watch this later, hope you're doing well. Big thumbs up to you down there in Mexico. And a lot going on with Dash. It looks impressive. And with Bitcoin, yeah, it's going through a lot right now. There's some challenges, some civil war kind of things happening within the Bitcoin community. And whichever side you're on, I hope we just can resolve the differences, get it settled. Let's move forward, whether we're going to go with a hard fork or soft fork or whatever, SegWit or not. Let's make sure that we can get some things taken care of here. And by the way, Agus, good to see you too. Greetings to you. Hope you're doing well down there in Mexico today. We get a lot of folks from Mexico joining us. That's good. Buenos tardes, I think I'd say. Yeah, in the afternoon. Buenos tardes. ¿Cómo estás? And I hope you're doing muy bien. But we're seeing a lot going on in the Bitcoin environment, a lot moving around back and forth. You might want to come up to speed on that if you're doing much of anything with it. For me, I know a little bit about that, but looking forward to just embracing it and finding, yeah, Bitcoin is a great way to deal and to work with people, to exchange money. You save a huge amount with that when you're looking at the transaction fees. I mean, really, if you're going to do an international transaction, it costs you 100 bazillion%. I think that's the right number. 100 bazillion, whatever it is, it can be quite high. 10, 20% is not unusual in many cases to send money. Well, that is really difficult, particularly for those who are working very hard. They don't have much money, and now they got a little bit of money. They're working in one country, and they want to send it back home. They wait in line for hours at the Western Union shop or a bank, and if they don't have a bank account, then they can't do much with it, and try to put the cash in, then they get huge fees for transferring money just so they can send money back home. Versus, if you've got Bitcoin, you just get it on your phone, you punch in, okay, I want to send you this amount of money, etc., whatever currency it might be, or this amount of Bitcoin, and you tap that, hold it up to the screen, they hold their smartphone up to the screen, and boom, it is transferred. And so you've got the information like that. Now, it could take a couple of minutes, could take a while. It's one of the challenges with Bitcoin right now, that it could take a little bit longer than it did before, and the fees might be a little bit more. Like, for instance, on a $10 transaction, you might pay $1 for the transaction, which is, I think, pretty high when you look at percentages. But if you look at getting money transferred in a secure way instantly, hey, maybe it's worth $1. Maybe it's worth a couple dollars. But at any rate, if you are using Bitcoin, I would encourage you to continue doing that. Study it, and if you're not using Bitcoin, look into it. It has some tremendous potential, and it is really changing the face of not only finance, but the way that we do much with business. Our world is being turned upside down. Today we're seeing it kind of flipped over because of many, many technological advances. Look at Uber and what they're doing to taxi cabs. I love Uber. And I have used its services around the world, many different places. Gina and I bounce around here and there, and we're using Uber regularly. We also use Lyft. That's Lyft, Lyft, and have enjoyed it. Matter of fact, as of yesterday, major thing just came through with Uber on American Express Platinum. If you have American Express Platinum, check into this. You'll receive $15 in Uber credits every month. Now, they don't roll forward, so you got to use them that month. But as of right now, for instance, I could take an Uber ride, and if it costs me $30, I'm only paying $15, and Platinum American Express is picking up the other. And then in December, they give you, I think, $20 additional dollars. So you got the $15 every month. In December, they give you the 15 plus an additional 20, totaling $35 on there, which is kind of nice. So that way it's good. And by the way, here's a strategy. I haven't shared this anywhere before, but I'll share it with you right now. One of the things that Gina and I did as a test a little over a year ago, we got rid of our car. We do not own a car now, and we have been using the URT strategy: Uber, rental car, and taxi. And for now, over a year and a half, it's working out really well because of where we are. The two L's help us. One is location, and the other is the lifestyle. Our location is that there's a lot of restaurants, a lot of businesses located within walking distance of where we are, and it's really nice. They don't have very much on the public transportation side in Orlando. I wish we did. Kind of like that when you go to a city like London, who has magnificent public transportation. You look at New York, good. Tokyo, Sydney, very good. Places around the country that do that. I think it's a real good thing when it makes economic sense. But for us, we're doing it that way. We're saving on the car and saving a lot of money doing that. So there is a lot of benefit from that. And now we're using services, excuse me, using services that give us the ability to order food and supplies from them, and they deliver it right here. That is a nice little feature. I encourage you to look into that. Look into services that will deliver groceries for you. Then you don't have to take your time doing that. And I'm talking to you entrepreneurs right now. You put your time, money, and energy into connecting with customers, potential customers, connect with them, creating content, and doing what you do best. Let someone else go out and get just the right groceries for you and bring them to you. We're working with a service now here in Orlando, and looking at some others as well that are out there. And we've had Brian working with us. He is marvelous. He knows the kind of apples we want. He knows the kind of potatoes we want. He knows the kind of veggies we want, etc., the fruits that we want. And we eat a lot of fruits and veggies and do well with that. Gina being vegan and me almost vegan, we find that's real good. But they know what what we want. And so you see all of that wraps together to save money and to fuel the lifestyle you want. So I know I'm talking about a number of different topics here, but they all kind of relate to taking control of your life. As I said at the beginning of this, take control of your life, do what you can with what you got right where you are. Excuse me, I got something in my throat there. But I'll look forward to hearing from you. If you're watching this by recording, hey, leave me a note. Even though it's you're catching the recording, it's already done. I do monitor these for the next 48 hours regularly. So if you want to leave a question, you want to leave a comment, I will look at that and I try to respond to everyone that's there. I just value your input, and you help me because as I see, if I say, what about blue widgets? And people go, well, the blue is okay, but we really like the yellow widgets. Well, that helps me to know what people are looking for, and it gives me good research feedback. And for you, it'll help also because you'll see what others say as you look at the kind of information that they leave. So I hope you have a great weekend. Hope that today is exceptionally good for you, that as we wind down Q1, first quarter of 2017, that you have a great time. Take some time, even if it's just for a moment, and reflect back on how did you do? How was January, February, March for 2017? And then take a little bit more time and look toward Q2. What do you have planned? What major stretch goals are there for you in Q2? You want a goal that, as Dennis Waitley said long ago, you want something that is within reach, that is within sight but out of reach. There, I'll get it right. Within sight but it's out of reach. So you're stretching for it and helping you to become a better person, pulling in the best, letting you become more of the kind of person that you really want to be. I'm Terry Brock, and thank you so much for joining me. I'll look forward to hearing from you and getting your comments. And now to reach forward and press the finish button.